Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This one is a challenge for the Secret Kit Club. This is Christy's Who Are You challenge. She gave us this alphabet poster you see here, and we were supposed to go to one of the letters that our either first or last name starts with, and it used the word associated with that letter or the color scheme as our inspiration. So I did decide to do my last name, which is Webster, so I went for the W, which was kind of like a blue teal W. The little person was wearing orange and blue, and then the word was wow. So I did decide to go ahead and use that as my inspiration. I pulled in my Saturday afternoon from One Canoe to paper pad because I knew it had some of these colors in there. I'm going to be scrapbooking my sister's birthday for Bennett's baby album. They went to the Georgia Aquarium. I think it's the first time that Bennett got to go to the Georgia Aquarium. So I had these two really sweet pictures here. You see their little family photo and then his daddy there holding him. And they're both looking up at the same thing, kind of just like in awe. So I thought that was really cool. I'm pretty sure that's in I think that's in the tunnel where the big whale sharks can swim over top of you. I'm not completely sure, but either way, they're both looking at something in bewilderment. So I thought that was really sweet. I also have their admission tickets here, so Becca really wanted me to incorporate that on the page as well. So I am. I decided to go ahead and stagger the photos, stagger the tickets, and make a little photo ticket collage and kind of build from there. I really like this striped orangey red paper. I thought that kind of pulled in the colors from the little person that's with the W in the inspiration. And then I had some scraps of this blue hexagon print, which I thought went very, very well. It kind of looks like underwater a little bit. So I figured I would use that as well. I actually had these circular punched pieces from a previous layout that I never did use, so I figured, hey, I'm using this scrap, let's pull them into this page, and I'm really glad I did because I just wanted to use them up. They were a pattern I needed, they were scraps I had to use, but in hindsight and looking at it as it progressed, I was like, they kind of look like bubbles, you know, underwater you see the bubbles bubbling up, so I thought that was really cool. And then the branding strip on this 12 by 12 was a yellow pattern, and there was a little bit of yellow in the color scheme as well, so I did go back for this yellow 12 by 12 to map both of those photos in. And I do have that branding strip kind of set to the side to pull in a little bit later. I didn't mean for this kind of to go primary color-ish, but that's what I was left with, so that's what I'm rolling with. They were the colors in my color scheme anyway, so I figured it'll work out. It's not exactly a red, it's more an orangey red, so I think it'll be fine. But yeah, I got those photos matted, so I'm going ahead and gluing those down. I'm going to go ahead and glue down the tickets. I really like how that cluster looked all collaged together, and then I will build up from there. So I'm just going to get all of that stuck down. I am not going to show all of the second ticket just because it's repetitive, so I am just going to show that it is a second general admission ticket, but I didn't really think I needed to show the date or anything else. I did think it's really cool. It's one of the things I really enjoy about using tickets as ephemera because they do have the date and the time on them, so you already have that recorded because you can see on the ticket that it was March 1st and the time was 11:30, and you know, it has the location of where they were, so it's very nice. I don't have to do any journaling. All the information is there. I am going to also pull in some scraps. I have some things from some Happy Mail. I have a giant white doily Lisa sent me. I had a scrap of even this little blue and white envelope. Some goodies came in. So I figured since we're pulling in blue, I'm going to go ahead and tuck it in there. It's a different kind of blue, but I think because there's so much blue in the photos that I can kind of get away with it. I really like how that envelope and that doily look staggered together. I also like this doily is more translucent. I usually like my doilies to be opaque, but I think it's really cool that you can kind of see the pattern through this big one because it kind of gives you more of that underwater feel, at least in my mind. Maybe that's just me. But then I did, with that envelope being a different blue, it kind of looked out of place, so I did cut the bottom part of the envelope that was hidden behind all of these layers, and that's going to be an additional layer on the left side of the page. You can see there I just tucked it in just so that pattern and that color was balanced across the page and so that it looked like it belonged. I did go through some ephemera. I pulled in some enamel shapes that I thought would work really well. I'm kind of feeling like most of my layers are good. I just need to figure out how to embellish and finish off the page. But I like how everything's going so far, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these big chunks down. We do have a 10 items challenge in addition to the individual challenges. So there are 10 items. I'm trying to think in my head what I can pull in, which is thread, sequins, Nuvo drops, vellum, punches, brads, enamel dots, florals, wood veneer, and pattern paper. So this is my third layout from this party. I don't know how many you would have seen yet. The first layout I did had 10 items on it. I got all 10. And then the second one I did was 7, and now this one only has 5. So I'm kind of dwindling, but I'm trying. So I'm trying to keep in mind everything I want to pull in. I definitely wanted to use wow as my title, seeing as that was the word associated with my inspiration letter. So I'm going to put that in white thickers down the side. It fit perfectly in that spot, and I just thought it was really appropriate, especially with that second photo of Brandon and Bennett. So that's going there. And here I think I'm trying to incorporate that branding strip. So I do end up just cutting that into 2 pieces and layering it top and bottom of these layers. I don't know if it really looks like it's one big piece to you guys or not, but I really just like that that color and that pattern is in separate areas across the photos. Just kind of pulls your eye to the center because it's balanced on either side. So I'm going to tuck that in there, and then I think I will start looking with embellishments. So I did pull in all those blue enamel dots on the side. I didn't know if I'd use those freckled fawn triangle ones, but they did have a really good navy in them. So I just thought I would lay them out just to see. You saw I also pulled out my Saturday afternoon ephemera pack, but nothing was really on theme or really the colors I was working with, and the ones that were the colors I was working with had that rose gold foil on it, which I did not want to introduce in this specific page. So I kind of left that alone. And then while I was going through my enamel shapes, I saw this pack I don't think I had touched yet that has some little anchors on it, as well as some blue and some yellow. I pulled it out for the blue, but then I ended up using all the yellow. So there's a little yellow anchor I put in the O of the title. I think that looks really cute. A little geotag on the ticket where it says Georgia Aquarium, just so you can see that's the location where we were. And then there were 2 yellow arrows I decided to put on the right side of those tickets, just to have that yellow and that texture kind of spread across different spots. So yeah, I thought that looked pretty cool. Wasn't expecting to do that initially, but I really like how that ended up looking. And now I'm going through my One Canoe 2 hashtag sticker book, because there is a lot of coordinating stickers with Saturday afternoon in here. I actually did not end up using any stickers except for a few hearts, actually, that were very similar to this kind of orangey red. So you'll see me pull those in a minute. I thought I was going to use some more of the more kind of patterned stickers, but I didn't. I actually did pull in one strip. I don't know if I do that first. I might be looking for that first. I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. There is one skinny strip of that yellow pattern that I matted the photos in. So I do end up pulling that in. But other than that, it's just some hearts. So I can't remember which one I found first. So those orange hearts on that sheet are the hearts that I end up pulling in. But I don't think I do that until I find the yellow strip. So I guess we'll wait and find out together. I don't know where I went. Been going missing in my videos lately. I am sorry. I should play the Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do. There, I'm back. Okay, so there's the yellow strip. So I'm just going to cut it into 2 pieces and layer them on those blue circles. I definitely want embellishment on those circles. They look very awkward just hanging there doing nothing. So I figured I would make, an embellishment cluster. So then I'm going back to try and find something to layer on those yellow strips, and that's where I go back and find those orangey red hearts. So other than that, I am going to go back to the 10 items list. Thus far, I think I only have enamel shapes and pattern paper used up. Is that right? Is that the only 2 things I've incorporated so far? I think so. So I definitely want to pull in some more. Oh, punches. I did use punches because those circular elements were circle punches. So yeah, I have 3 out of the 10 items, and I definitely want more than 3. So, and I definitely know I'm not done with my embellishment. So revisiting that list helps me think of things that I can pull in. I think about pulling in vellum. Vellum was one of the 10 items, and I had a few scraps of these circular vellum pieces, and I figured, oh, I'm already using circles, might as well try and throw in these circular vellum pieces too. But I couldn't find a natural area for them to sit, and I kind of felt like they actually pulled away from the other 2 circular elements, those blue pieces, rather than accentuated them. So I decided to leave them off, even though it was a item. I didn't want to use them just to use them, so I ended up not using those on this page. I'm sure they'll make it on a future one. I did pull out a Stampin' Up! Marker and just titled it Mom's Birthday. I guess it's a subtitle. I guess Wow was my title, but I had a little bit of a spot to journal on one of those circles, and I did want to make sure I note this is for my sister's birthday, that they went to the Georgia Aquarium, so I thought that was an important detail. But yeah, I put that on there, and so now I'm going through my ephemera packs. I wanted to pull in some wood veneer, so I thought I'd do a cute little wood veneer family. I also have a wood veneer camera and some arrows, so I figured I had arrows on the other side of the page, so I might as well pull in a wood veneer arrow here, since I am pulling in that wood veneer texture. I kind of play around with where it's going to go. It ends up going above the W in kind of the corner of that blue arrow in the photo, or the blue paper in the photo right there. And then the camera will go in that bottom right of the second photo, just so I have a visual triangle with my wood veneer as well. So I'm going to glue those down. I just love this little wood veneer family. So it'll take me a minute just to stick those down. And then what do I have left? Am I done? No, I'm not. I still know that there's something else we're going to do, because I was not happy with 4 items and I wanted at least 1 more. So again, I'm kind of waiting for this glue to dry a little bit, just so if I need to move these wood veneer, they aren't cemented to the paper. So yeah, and then I get impatient and I stick them down before the glue is wet anyways. But they're basically just going right back where I had them before. I liked kind of how they were. And then I will go back to my ephemera box where I keep all my little bits and pieces. I figured I wanted to pull in some brads, and I know I have a lot of blue brads, so I do pull in this very royal blue ocean looking brad and put them in a few places. So you'll see that in a minute. I'm just placing them down to see placement wise, and then I'll go ahead and pierce the paper and stick them down. But I wanted one in each of these clusters at the top on those circles, and I really thought it would be cute to have one in the middle of the geotag and in the middle of the camera. But for whatever reason, I felt like it was an even number, and even numbers bother me, even though maybe no one else would notice. I wanted one more somewhere else, so I did just put a 5th one over by those 2 yellow enamel arrows. So I'm going to put all of those through, and I think after all the brads are done, I think my layout is done. So I was really pleased with how this came about. I really liked what such a simple inspiration piece could do, because really it was just the letter W in different colors with a word, and this is what I came up with. And so far, at least, this is my favorite layout that I've made this party weekend, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think the close-ups are coming up soon. If you guys would like to play along, I will link the group in the description. Every month we have a party weekend where there's lots of fun challenges, there's prizes for some of them, and a really cool group of ladies. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Bye.